Alright, Archero 2, the pulsing orb etch room has been redone and this thing is absolutely broken. This video idea is sponsored by Sipping Frog. Now if you're going to use this build, there's some things that you need to know, at least building around circles. But prior to this whole rework, this thing was doing some sort of crazy 8 thing. Now these circles will expand, contract, and pretty much make like a homing attack on them. So I went in today, did a bunch of testing on these things, and the first thing you need to know, if you plan on getting some sort of frenzy or attack speed, this does not change the speed of these rotating balls. It may look like it, I thought it too, but I timed it out frame by frame, and no matter how much attack speed I had, it was still going to be the constant. But I highly recommend if you are using this build, you want to use the spin speed up circle. That's going to increase the speed of it. And we also want to make sure we're using the saw blade one, which is going to turn all of these things into saw blades. And then of course that regular ability rune, which is just labeled circle. Now just about all these circle skills will be doing about 1.5 times your base damage. However, having all these buffs from these runes here definitely does make that number increase. And if you're thinking those 4 non-elemental circles are a waste because they don't have any special effect to them, you're incredibly wrong. These things are absolutely insane, give you extra range, and they move super fast. It's pretty much the best one you can get for it, in my opinion. So from what I've read on this, the ones that are the beam ones, those will actually do about 1.25 times your damage, so a little bit less than the other one. However, we do have those beams that launch out. Those will be doing your base attack. And even though the attack speed doesn't increase, any attack power-ups you get up will affect the numbers on these and do more damage. And you may be asking yourself, if the regular attack ups go and increase my damage to these circles, do I really need to get that circle boost? And yes, that circle boost is going to be a pretty solid increase on it there, almost double of what you're going to get for those attack ones themselves. If I remember correctly, the one which is just your attack power, going to be the black sword with the green arrow, that's going to increase your overall attack for everything by 1.25, where the circle damage one or circle boost is going to be 1.5. So one of the big testings that I wanted to see was when we had something like enhanced poison or enhanced fire, pretty much that elemental skill, which is going to help boost the elementals you have on your arrows. And when I went in and had the poison one, I was hitting for about 90,000 for the damage of the poison tick. Every time one of these things hit, regardless of the elemental, we had the base in there of, let's say, 85k, and then we would have that second damage number for the elemental on it. But with hitting at about 90k, when I went and grabbed that poison increases greatly, or whatever it says, I now jumped up to about 210,000. The only kicker is I found these things incredibly tough to get if I wasn't using some sort of elemental ability, like say a freeze or a poison. The fact that I had that Flame Nox rune on though meant that I was doing flame damage and poison damage, which allowed me the opportunity to see this. Now I'm not saying it's impossible to get these things if you just have the circles, but to me, that's just the way it felt. So some of the places that's good to use this is the Abyssal Tide, that's where I use it a majority of the time, and then the time chapters, one where we have 6 minutes, 2 bosses. This seems to work pretty well with that too. And with the recent changes to this, I believe this is a great thing to go in on the seal boss or even the guild boss itself. And remember that non-elemental one is OP, so if you see that, grab it, you get more saw blades out of it, you get more hits out of it, and it really does eliminate these mobs. So I am still running the weapon rune with this. I didn't really test out running the elemental one with the orbs. I imagine it would probably work pretty well, but still, weapon one's gonna kind of own on it there, but this one is definitely worthy of throwing in that second slot when going in on those modes that we talked about. But if you want to know what to expect from floor 646 through 650, see what it's all about, know how to beat that scythe boss inside there, take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.